Police officers and first responders wear badges to let their communities know they are here to protect and serve. But it comes at a price. Samantha Horwitz and John Salerno work with police departments across the country to bring valuable recovery, insight resources, and workshops. A Badge of Honor TV brings those professionals to you so we can come together and revitalize communities through a better understanding of what's at stake and what's required for repair. So take a load off and turn up your TV. It's about to get real.
Well, hey, welcome to A Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam. You have got Sam here tonight. John has been called into his dispatching role. So John, if you happen to be watching on a side screen, we miss you, partner, and we're thinking about you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We have a fantastic show in store. You know, we are coming off of Law Enforcement Appreciation Week. Friday evening was the memorial. And we're coming up on Memorial Day. And we thought it would be, this Memorial May, we are featuring all of the new nonprofit partners for an amazing organization called Carry the Load that we've been nonprofit partners with. You've heard us talk about it. This is year number 3, and we're so incredibly blessed. And, you know, there are so many first responders and law enforcement officers that will be coming back this week and then coming out to commemorate Memorial Day at Reverchon Park in Dallas, Texas, as part of Carry the Load. And at this time, as this week goes by, it gets real for a lot of us that remember those that are no longer with us. And that goes for our law enforcement brothers and sisters, and it also goes for our veteran and our military community. And tonight we have on the show Ministering Our Military. It's an incredible organization that does just that. They minister to military through several different programs. So without further ado, I want to bring on the founder of Ministering Our Military, Kellye Cooper, to the program. Kellye, welcome to A Badge of Honor TV.
Thank you, Sam.
It's great to have you. Before we dive in deep, tell everybody watching and listening a little bit about you and how you came to found Ministering Our Military.
Okay. I'm Kellye Cooper. I live and was born and raised in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and that's where we're still at. In 2012, my son enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I was just a mom who didn't really know what was going on. I didn't have any major military background in my life, so kind of scared, didn't understand it all. In 2013, started having dinner with 3 other moms whose sons had also joined the military and different branches. But we just decided we were going to start getting together, having dinner once a month. And in that came about the idea to start sending care packages to our kids. Later, we became a 501c3. And to date, we have sent over 6,000 care packages around the world to active duty military members. After that, we expanded. We started seeing a need for areas where veterans needed us. We live in rural East Texas. We have probably, according to Texas Veteran Commission, we have the highest per capita of veterans living here, but we have the lowest amount of resources. So we just saw a need to kind of go into that section and not only do care packages, but to also start taking care of our veterans. And that's where we are today.
So, a lot of people have heard about sending care packages overseas. What goes into creating care packages for our troops so everybody can get a realistic view of
this?
There's
realistic.
Shove it in the bag.
Here's the realistic part, and people don't understand this. So what we do what's called a red tub drive. Red for Remember Everyone Deployed. That red tub, we have big red tubs we sell out at businesses, churches, civic organizations, anybody that wants to collect items for our care packages. We have a list, and they usually pick 1 or 2 items from that list. It's anything Ironically, the top requested items are toilet paper, which nobody can believe, baby wipes, beef jerky, drink mixes to go in water bottles, and toiletry items are some of the most requested items. Um, we gather that different times of the year and then we get together to package it. What people don't understand about that is when we started this in 2013, that you use a large flat rate shipping box from the United States Postal Service. That box used to cost us $8.45 to send out. That box is now $22 and I think 95 cents. So the postage alone is astronomical. And people go, oh, there has to be a cheaper way. There is not a cheaper way. That's the only way to get it there. And but a lot of love goes into them. You know, we've done this for so long. We've gotten thank yous from all over the world. It's very important to our military members to know that they're thought about and appreciated. This is our little way of doing it. So it's an easy way for people to get involved. It's just raising the money then to cover the postage to do it.
Now, how do you pick who is getting a care package?
So we try to impact a unit at a time. So people just submit us a name. We find out how many people are directly involved in that unit and we'll send for that unit. You know, some units are going to be 25. We've sent to some units that are 200. It just depends on what branch it is and where they're at and what's going on at that time. We've actually taken on a host submarine unit before. That was one of the coolest ones. One of my favorite stories because we did that right around Christmas. And I always tell the story. I'd gone to lunch at, after church that Sunday and my phone rang and it said Middle East. And we all know you see a call from the Middle East, you think, oh, this is spam. But it kind of got the best of me. So I answered it and it was the commander of that subunit. And he personally thanked us for what we had done for those 100 sailors that were on that unit. So, you know, you never know where you're going to get calls from and the thank yous. So it makes it all worth it.
That is fantastic. I was like, how do you send a package to a sub?
Yeah. So actually and that does sound funny, but so we have a friend, you know, it really is a small world. You think it's huge, but it's not. We have a friend who is now a rear admiral in the Navy. And when we contacted him, he wasn't quite there, but he was getting there. And he said, I have a sub you can send to. So they were getting ready to come back. And so when they stepped off that sub, that's when they received their care packages.
Got it. Now, part of your support system, it's not only active duty military, you support veterans and then the families as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That's where about 2 years ago, we got a phone call and the phone call was from a nursing home and they had a veteran who loved the Texas Rangers and he watched every Texas Ranger game there was. And he had a wish, and that wish was to go to a Texas Ranger game and to take his best friend with him. And so they were asking if we knew any way to help pay for that. I always have a bad habit of saying yes and then figure out where the money's going to come from later. So I kind of say yes and then go back to our board and go, okay, how can we do this? So we did that and we saw a need of, hey, how can we get involved with these veterans and take care of them or to fulfill their wishes was what we decided. So we started what was called Operation Bravo Zulu. And we were going to just fulfill wishes of veterans in nursing home, hospice, and assisted living. But in that process, we started getting phone calls, and they were phone calls about veterans in need. It might be a veteran who couldn't they were all living on fixed income. They might not be able to pay their electric bill that month because of an unforeseen circumstance that had come up. Some needed actual food in their house, busted water lines. There wasn't enough extra income to pay for that $750 fix, rental assistance, groceries, just whatever. And so we branched, the Operation Bravo Zulu kind of branched more into that. As much as we would love to still, and we will still fulfill wishes if we get those, but we just see a need to help veterans who, especially older veterans, that just need that little help every month to get it through.
Absolutely. And you know what? Helping veterans is important, just like our first responder families, and our
Yes.
veteran families, our military families. And we got to take our quick break to hear from one of our sponsors who also happens to love and support our first responder and military families. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Hey, it is time to make that impact every time you use your mobile device. Because right now, if you go to patriotmobile.com/badge, you will be on our landing page and you can take advantage of a free month of service. You can also call 972-PATRIOT, tell them a badge of honor sent you by using promo code badge. You get that same free month of service, which means you get to try Patriot Mobile absolutely free. You keep your device, and what happens is they ping off of the top 3, the big 3. I don't need to name them. You know them. You're probably part of one of them. But here's the key. Because you pay the bill that you get to them every month, they get to do whatever they want with your money. At Patriot Mobile, you just heard how your money is actually making an impact in your community. So take advantage of a free month of mobile service. Call Patriot Mobile at 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code badge or patriotmobile.com/badge. Take advantage of it now. Now back to the show. Welcome back to a Badge of Honor TV, powered by the OBBM network. We are talking to Kellye Cooper, the founder of Ministering Our Military. Before we took our break, Kellye was talking about how they expanded their roles from, they still do the care packages, but expanding into caring for our veteran community that is in, we'll call it dire straits in terms of needing bills to be paid, food on the table. We've talked about food insecurity on the show before, and other things, and making their wishes come true, because it's tough these days. I mean, we're all living in a space that, unless you're a mega millionaire, you go to the grocery store and it hurts a little. It hurts a lot going to the gas pump, especially if you drive a diesel truck.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, these are the things. If you can create a positive impact for a veteran that is in a situation where, I think about pride. A lot of them don't ask, or they won't ask. How do you find out that so-and-so veteran might need some assistance with, like you said, a busted pipe or getting groceries?
Well, that's where all of this came into reality for us when we talk about our building in just a little bit. We started getting phone calls from very random places. Like I said, we're in rural East Texas, Mount Pleasant, small. We're part of Titus County, and we're surrounded by smaller counties. And I would get phone calls from, and when I say the M.O.M has been linked to my cell phone for so long, so it's not just me, it's a group of people. But I would get the phone call come in, and it would be from the title office. There was a veteran there, and he had gone to the title office looking for help, which was a random place to go, but he didn't know where else to go. At the time when we first started this, we did not even have a county veteran service officer in our area. So that wasn't even an option to go to a veteran service officer to look for services. It could be that they just randomly showed up at a place of business, and they would carry on a conversation with somebody. And the conversation would then come about, well, I am in need of this or that. And I had just been very blessed that I'm associated with helping military and veterans. And so those phone calls came in, and we decided there has to be a better way. We advocated with the county to get our veteran service officer reinstated. So we do have that again.
Great.
But still, there's just, the resources can be out there, it's connecting the dots of those resources. And as I tell people, it's a piece of the puzzle. Each one of us, no matter what organization you're with, if you're helping veterans, and we do help first responders also, if your organization is helping in some way, you have a piece of the puzzle. And we all have our piece, but we all are going to have to lay it down to put the picture together so we can fulfill all of it and see the full picture out there. So that's what we're trying to do, is get that word out there, let them know we're here and take care of them in every way we can. And we like to say we're the 911 of that. We take care of that immediate need, but then we get them to the next person that can get the long-term help they need, get their benefits set up or whatever it is they need, so that they don't have the shortfall every month.
Oh, glad you all got your veteran service officer back out there.
Yes.
Because when you get to small town Texas and you don't have one, it's like you said, now you're dealing with all the counties looking to that one person to help
Absolutely.
them out as it relates to a veteran. This is absolutely amazing. And what is very heartwarming is the fact that these businesses, or wherever the veteran landed, chose to take the next step and got in contact with you, probably made a couple of phone calls, and that they decided to do that.
Yeah. They didn't just leave them there.
Right. And I think that is, that's fantastic. It speaks volumes to folks in Texas and how we care for our veterans. And we need to see a lot more of that for sure. Now you all embarked on, we connected a couple of times before the show.
Yes.
And you were running around trying to do something really, really, really big, which was open a veterans outreach center.
Yes.
And you all succeeded in doing that. Can you walk us through that?
This has been the biggest project of our life. So when we saw the need, there was an older veteran that we got a phone call about, and we were actually at a board meeting that day, and this veteran kind of needed our help in a couple ways. One way was they needed help with their electric bill, but they also had no food in their home. It's an older veteran, and he was taking care of his wife, who was disabled. He was physically able and willing to work, but he didn't have anybody to take care of her. So therefore, he couldn't leave her to go to work. And so another board member and I went, and we loaded up a buggy, got lots of food, took a lot of things over, took care of their electric bill for them. When we left, he looked at me and he said, "We have to do something." And I said, "I've been telling you this. I don't know what to do." I said, "In my mind, we need a veteran resource center." And I said, we need a building. And I'm very fortunate. I have a husband who has stood behind me with this project 100% of the way. And he said, he's kind of deals in real estate stuff. And he said, "I will give you y'all an acre of land and you can build a building." And so we kind of went with that's what we were going to do. So we planned our first fundraiser. We were going to raise money and do that. About 2 months into it, I was driving by another building and there was a sign for sale. or for sale sign in the yard, and it was somebody, it was our bank that we deal with, had put it on the market. And so I called my husband. I said, "Hey, I have another idea. Come look." And he immediately said, "Ooh, that's too big." This building is actually 14,000 square feet, so it's
Wow.
very big.
Wow.
Yes. It's got 28 offices and a 4,000 square foot warehouse in it. It's got a big meeting room, a boardroom, lots of things. He said, I said, "Just go with me and look. Let's just look." Like I said, I say yes a lot before I know where the money's going to come from. So, he came and looked with me and he said, "For what you're going to put into this, you're not going to be able to build this." So it is right off of I-30. It's an excellent location. So we went to the bank, we made a business proposal, and our proposal was we were going to rent out these offices to other service organizations that help veterans. So we'll cover our mortgage by renting out to for-profit businesses that help veterans. And it worked. We are full to capacity. We had our grand opening last week, and actually week before. I'm kind of off on weeks, but it's amazing. We have Purple Heart Home Health is here. Veteran Caregivers is here. Community Services of Northeast Texas is located here. Our local DAV chapter has now moved in with us. They host their monthly meetings here. Our Mount Pleasant American Legion has moved in and they host their meetings here. So everybody is now housed in a central location, which the American Legion did not even have a building. They just kind of randomly met at restaurants. They haven't had their own home in a long time. So they're very glad to be in a place where they can put their name on something and people know where to go for that. The DAV had an older building that was in complete disrepair, needed lots of updates, and they did not have the money to do that. So they were able to get rid of that and come in with us. So it's great. It's been an amazing journey. We closed on it on December the 27th of last year. And like I said, we had our grand opening on May 8th. So we have worked nonstop since January to get this up and going.
That is amazing. Congratulations. We got to take our next break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the building, the Veteran Service building. What do you call it? Veterans.
It's the Ministering Our Military Veteran and Community Resource Center, and we'll talk about why it's community also.
All right. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay tuned, everybody.
Look, when you need to respond to an aggressive situation to protect yourself, your family, or your property, understanding your firearm and legal position are critical. Officers know your skills are only as good as your commitment to training. So know what you're doing. So when you're in a vulnerable situation, we can count on your response. Whether you're a beginner or a licensed gun carrier, Kellye in Texas offers basic firearms training, Texas permitless carry courses, license to carry, and basic 2A courses so you can understand the responsibilities, situational awareness, and learn the technical skill required when you carry your firearm. Go to kellyintexas.com to find the right course for you. Join me, former United States Secret Service agent Samantha Horwitz, on the range for beginner basics, LTC prep, and range practice. Go to kellyintexas.com today. That's kellyintexas.com.
Hey, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV. We are powered by the OBBM network, and we are talking with Kellye Cooper. She is the founder of Ministering Our Military, located in Mount Pleasant, Texas. Love Mount Pleasant, been there a couple of times. It is such a wonderful small town feel with the friendliest people that you can find, other than the small town that I live in East Texas. We're not that far from each other. And before we took a break, we were talking about the brand new Veteran and Community Resource Center that y'all open. And we ended on why it's also got community in there. So tell us.
Okay. First of all, because we do not want to forget our first responders. We absolutely support them. So we wanted to make sure they knew, but also for families. If it was just a veteran resource center, then if there was an active duty military member whose family needed help, or if there was a first responder and his family who needed help. We did not want them to think they could not come here and us help them. We want to help all of them. So we made sure to include that. We needed veteran in our name because our hearts go out to veterans so much, but we wanted it to include all of those also.
Wow. And so part of that, you gave us a list of who all is in there. You also, on your website, in addition to the care package drives that we've already spoken about, you have community prayer groups, veteran recognition events.
Yes.
And so can you talk a little bit about, let's start with the community prayer groups first.
Okay, so we meet monthly. We meet the fourth Thursday of every month to have our monthly meeting, and this was founded on that. When it was the four moms of us, we were praying really hard for our kids, so we never took that out of there. We also do peer-to-peer counseling here. We had our first peer-to-peer group meet last week, so that's another big thing for us. We try to hit every aspect of what can go on in somebody's life that they might need help with. We also are in the process, we have opened a full service food pantry. So it's
wow.
veterans and veterans, their families, first responders and their families can come here. There are no questions asked. If they can prove that they are those things, we have no criteria they have to meet in order to be able to get things from us. In the next few months, we are also going to open some type of community thrift store, but it will be a need-based first. So if a family were in need of clothing or home goods, they can come here and get that. And then possibly once a month, we'll open that store up to the public to just kind of clear out what's there, restock, and start over. We have medical equipment available here. If they're in emergency need and can't get it funded fast enough through the VA, we're able to provide some medical equipment also. So lots of stuff going on here. And we don't want to stop. I mean, we just keep kind of adding along the way to see how far we can get it here. So
yeah, wow, that is amazing. And so the food pantry, that
yes,
is it being, are you guys running it, or is it
we're running it. We don't know what we're doing, so I don't know how we're running it yet, but we are. We actually, I kind of say God kind of purpose was my word last year, and he definitely showed me that the purpose for us was to open this veteran resource center. And this year, I told him I didn't want a word. Those words kind of take me on unrealistic journeys sometimes, but the word was provision, and he was going to provide everything we needed. And he has. We never once advertised for anybody for an office space. They all contacted us through various means, and we were able to fill this building up. And ironically, but not ironically, we had a lady call us from Spring, Texas, and she gets food through different locations up in the Houston area. And she was given our name of what we were doing. And she said, I will stock your food pantry for you if you will open it. We never had to do one thing. It just walked in the door. So we were able to immediately set that up within being here within 2 months. We got our first delivery about 3 weeks ago, and we'll have a monthly food delivery come in.
That is fantastic. Oh, and congratulations on that as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah, that's outstanding. The veteran recognition events.
So we do several things. Yes, we're a nonprofit partner with Carry the Load this year, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but we have actually been hosting rallies with Carry the Load since 2013 is when we did our first one. Actually, if you would dig back into all of that, we were actually one of the first independent city rallies that was ever held with Carry the Load. I contacted them years ago and said, hey, would y'all stop if we did this? Because we just happened to be on their route. They did. So every year, even though, yes, I know the difference in Memorial Day and Veterans Day, there is no doubt about that. But
Correct.
we invite those veterans to come on Memorial Day for our rally because they're the ones who lost their friends. they're the ones who need to have an outlet of how to honor their friends, how to honor all of those. So we bring them in that day, just to serve them lunch and to let them know we're here for them if they need us. And then we also host a Liberty Ball each year in November. And that is to honor veterans closer to Veterans Day than we have that event. We're also involved with lots of Veterans Day events throughout our community. We don't host one on Veterans Day because it's not that we don't want to. Our schools here do an outstanding job of doing Veterans Day
Oh,
programs.
that's great to hear.
And we don't want to take away those veterans because those kids need to see those veterans. We know they're there, but reaching that next generation of all these kids is very important to us. So we don't want to take away from them. We go and support them. We serve at their events. We set up our information there and take part in those. And now we're in the process of another added layer is that we have in June, we'll start a monthly breakfast and or lunch, depending on what we do each month, just to get veterans here, just as a community outreach to serve them lunch, get them talking to each other. And once again, to know that whatever comes up in their lives, we're here for them. So they can come in, eat with us, just talk, hang out with their friends, connect with all of those people. And then, like I said, our peer-to-peer counseling that started, that's to help veterans that are dealing with issues that need to come back in. So.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing. And you mentioned breakfast and or lunch as part of our next break here. We're talking about East Texas Legends Coffee. I don't know if you know about them, Kellye, but
I do not.
All right. Well, East Texas Legends Coffee Company was founded by Ben and Amanda Holmes, and it reflects their journey from Ben's Marine Corps service and law enforcement career, overcoming post-traumatic stress to finding purpose in ranching. They relocated to an East Texas ranch and identified a need for a local coffee brand. Now they're opening their first coffee shop in Lindale, Texas, rooted in faith, family, and community. Their mission, inspire purposeful conversations over coffee. So drink coffee and be legendary. Go to etxlegendscoffee.com. Use promo code BADGE for 15% off coffee and merch. That is etxlegendscoffee.com. Promo code BADGE for 15% off coffee and merch. Or you can just hold your phone up to the screen and just get it over that QR code right there. And you can get in touch with them. Ben and Amanda were on season 2. And we always...
I was taking notes because I had not heard of them. That is,
yeah. So it's iced coffee today because it's a hot one in Texas. So keeps the coffee cold all day long, and they will ship to wherever you are in the United States. And so take advantage of that 15% off. And again, etxlegendscoffee.com. And you will not be disappointed. John and I have our favorites. Mine, I like really dark coffee, but I don't like it to be bitter, like the beans were scorched during the roasting process, like a certain company that starts with an S likes to do it. It's called Diablo. It is amazing. And I like to do a little mixy. I'll get a little gourmet, and so I put a scoop of spiced maple in there, and it brews one delicious. Brews 10 delicious cups. So East Texas Legends Coffee Company is awesome. So Kellye, so you're adding breakfast and or lunch to your already busy everything that you're doing there, and this is outstanding because when you think of a veteran service and community service facility, you do want to have everything housed in one place. At least try to, where a veteran, if they needed to go office by office by office, they could, because we've all seen it. you get in, you get one thing done. Oh no, now you have to go to this place. And then if you want that, you have to go to this place. And the fact that you have medical supplies is key. We have a friend who has been paralyzed. He had a terrible accident as a teenager, 16. And he was part of Adaptive Training Foundation, an amazing organization. They have a gym, and they're part of Carry the Load as well, nonprofit partners. And one of the things that we couldn't understand is like, what is it with the wheelchair? Why can't you get a new wheelchair?
Yeah.
And it was all about funding. And then insurance was, oh my gosh, it was a mess. And it's like, no, this is what these folks need. There's no waiting. If they need a new wheelchair, they need a new
Get on
wheelchair.
the wheelchair. Exactly.
Exactly. And
you and I both know the VA is, and I'm not discrediting the VA, but they are so slow.
Yes.
And some of these people need immediate help with things.
Yes.
You can't wait. You have a fall. Well, you need a walker right then. And VA says, oh, well, we'll get you approved in, 2 months. We need to take care of them now.
Exactly. And it's now is now.
Exactly.
And so if we had touched on a little bit before, the pride part for veterans, if a veteran's family member comes forward, or a first responder spouse, because their first responder was injured, how do they specifically seek assistance from you? Do they have to fill out forms, kind of like we just spoke in the VA, or is there a meeting that's required? Can they get on the phone with you? Can they get on a Zoom with you?
Yes, they can call, and what they call, then we just kind of go through the process. We have a little bit of a vetting process just to make sure that nobody's taking advantage of anything. But other than that, we're just here to help. We don't do VA requirements of 5,000 pages to get you one thing, just the proper documentation for us to prove that you are either military or first responder related, and then we'll take care of those things.
Okay. And then if somebody cannot physically get to you, because
they can call us, they can reach out, especially older veterans, they can't, websites are not necessarily their thing. So yes, you can call us. I'll give you the phone number in a few minutes. It's a new phone number that we've done, but they can always, it sounds crazy. People are like, you give out your phone number. I do. And that's crazy to some people, but it's not to me, because I don't want there to ever be a way that they can't get in touch with somebody. Our system has failed them so many other ways that this shouldn't be hard. And everybody, right now, we're in the process. We're not only serving Titus County, we also are serving Camp Morris Franklin and Titus. So there's 4 that we actually serve, and hope to branch out through all the ATCOG area. And so, any veteran in those areas that needs us, it's just a phone call and we will get somebody there. We're very fortunate that we have a couple resources on site that have access to transportation needs for these people. We don't have the transportation right now, but we are very close with a couple organizations that do have transportation available. Like I said, we have direct access for hospice and for home health issues and for a caregivers program also. So all of that's there, and it doesn't take much for us to get it going. And with that, we have a few veteran service officers that are accredited through other organizations. They're not the county veteran service officers, but they're accredited through the DAV and through veteran caregivers. So they're in-house. So we also have that available here.
Okay, so you mentioned you and your husband and a few other people. How do you do all of this on any given day? Are you in
husband's
need of
asking me.
volunteers?
There's a group, there's volunteers. So we have a great board. I'm very, very blessed that we have the board that we do, and we have a group of volunteers that have, I will say it's probably about, in the scheme of life, there's 30 people that say they're members of M.O.M, and there's probably, 10 that are active up here all the time. About 5 of us have been here 5 days a week since the beginning of this. Occasionally my husband tells me to just put an apartment up here because I'm here more than I am anywhere else. I have a full-time job working for him, and that's kind of gotten sidetracked. I don't show up there very much. Everybody here, and this is important to know, is a volunteer. There's nobody getting paid anything to be here. And so every dollar that's coming in here is going back to veterans. We're not, nobody's salary, nobody's taking any money that way. So it's just, I never knew, somebody said this, and it's true. They said, you didn't know you had this much energy, did you? And I didn't. This is where I get a little emotional. I am very blessed that God has allowed me to do this, and that he called me to do this, and he picked me to do this. And so, yes, my energy level for this is a lot higher than anything else I've ever done, but it is truly the greatest blessing of my life to be here doing this now.
Well, when you find your purpose, it's what gets you out of bed in the hours of the morning and keeps you going and keeps you fueled all day. Yeah. And I will say, seeing the smiles and receiving the thank yous, and you in turn giving the thank yous, that's what it's about. Is knowing that you were able to help somebody who fought and is still lucky enough to still be here and just needs some help.
Yes. And, we didn't talk about this, but we can right quick, with our memorial rally and with Carry the Load, another aspect we do is we have a very strong Gold Star family support that we do. We keep in contact with those Gold Star families. Once we know of another one or a situation, we immediately reach out, get their information, and start taking care of them. We've also just started a No 22 program, which is very important to us. And we, in our own way, honor the sacrifice that those families made, because they were lost too, and unfortunately, that's not an issue that's going away anytime soon, but we're going to fight to do better here. Yeah. And so it's each step of that. And one of the going with 22 a day things, those families don't necessarily feel the support from the community. Sometimes there's a stigma with what happened, and we're trying to break that because it's through no fault of their own. They feel like they were let down. And that's one of the main reasons we're here doing what we're doing, is we think this might be a way to combat that, is that instead of feeling lost out in the world, they know they can come here, and we'll try to get them whatever resources we can. So just another way to support all of these people here.
Absolutely. Amazing. We got to take our last quick break. We will be right back. Stay tuned, everybody.
Interested in starting a podcast or TV show? Worried about what you'll say and how to keep it engaging? Think you'd like to be a guest on podcast, radio, or TV shows? Hi, I'm Susan Hamilton, owner and founder of OBBM Network, and I would like to invite you to an OBBM media training to get the tools you need for a relaxed and polished performance we'll be proud to share. Our specialized training techniques include role play, voice training, and everything you need to deliver a confident, clear, and engaging interaction. Go to offbeatbusiness.com. Go to the calendar and register for a training that's convenient for you. Dates available now, 214-714-0495.
Welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV. We are powered by the OBBM Network, and we are talking to Kellye Cooper, the founder of Ministering Our Military. Hey, Kellye, as part of a wrap-up, I've got the website up here. So if you guys are listening on your favorite podcast app, it's ministeringourmilitary.com. That's ministeringourmilitary.com. Besides the website, you were going to give your phone number, so I'll let you do that. And then what's your social media handles?
So it's on Facebook. It's just under Ministering Our Military, and it's that way on Instagram also. Phone number, the easiest one, I just give mine. It's reality of life, and it's 903-466-1831. Everybody always says, are you sure? And I am. So yes, that's the easiest way to reach me. And we will always call you back. If we don't get it immediately, we'll call you back and get any information out we can. There's lots of ways to get involved. So if anybody wants to reach out, they can reach out through any of those avenues and get involved with volunteering, and lots of ways to do that.
Awesome. And you are the organization is part of the Carry the Load's nonprofit partner continuum of care program. What does it mean to you to have been chosen for that?
It's a big one. Like I said, we've been doing this a long time with Carry the Load, but to get chosen back is very important to us. It means that our mission was received and that people see the importance of the mission. If you're doing something and it's not acknowledged in society that it's worth anything, you kind of get disheartened. But when you have somebody like Carry the Load look at your mission statement, look at what you've done in the past year and say, we want to get behind this, we want to support this, we want to help make you better, it's all the better for all of us.
Well, it's fantastic. Thank you for coming on tonight, for taking the time, as everybody can hear, and we know you are super busy. So we very much appreciate and value your time with us tonight.
Thank you, Sam.
You are very welcome. All of the programs that you offer, folks, reach out to Kellye. Get on the website. I'm going to put it up one more time. Call her. You can rewind or fast forward, whatever, the show after, and get in contact with her. And we're looking forward to seeing you soon out at the Dallas Memorial March here.
Sounds good.
All right. Until then, thank you so much again. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, Sam. All right. See you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. What an amazing organization. It's such an honor for us to be part of that nonprofit partner collective of the continuum of care for Carry the Load. Hey, if you're wondering what we were just talking about the Dallas Memorial March, look no further. Go to carrytheload.org. Find your event. It's called the Dallas Memorial March. It is coming up this weekend, the Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day at Reverchon Park in Dallas. So again, carrytheload.org for that. If you're looking to support, you can support ministeringourmilitary.com. It all goes into Carry the Load. You can pop onto our website, badgeofhonor.org, and there's a pop-up that will come up on the screen. You can give to Carry the Load right through that donate button. Again, it does not come directly to us. It goes to Carry the Load, and then as a nonprofit partner with the other organizations, the funds are given out, excuse me, to the nonprofit partners to keep the mission going. And so we, John and I, we want to say thank you to everyone who has donated so far. Remember to visit John Salerno on Facebook and give to him as well. And you'll find all of our partners on there. We have got a lot of events coming up through Carry the Load all the way into August. If you are an organization or you are a department and you want to have us come in and do our wellness and resiliency workshop, it's 8 hours, state certified, so you get TCOL credits. Again, go to badgeofhonor.org, reach out to us through the website, the number's right there, or send us an email, and we'll get that on the calendar as well. And to our friends Liz and Joe Bartholomew up in Wisconsin. They are putting on another first responders retreat. If you are a first responder and you want a peer-led group to just get away and spend a week out in the wilderness in beautiful cabins, see the northern lights, go fishing, do a lot of different activities, firstrespondersretreat.org. Get your name on the list because space is filling up, okay? So thank you, Liz and Joe, for that. Hey, and mark your calendars for TexasTakeover100.com. It's the last Friday, Saturday in September. We will be in Allen, Texas with the folks from across the U.S. that are part of the 100 Club on X. And you can go to X and type in 100 Club, and you'll see all of the members. They're coming here to Allen. We are taking over Allen, Texas, and we are doing a lot of cool things, renting out space in a gym. It is all about learning how to operate at 100%. So if you're already there, come on out, register. We need you there. It's about putting our heads together, being a collective force for good in not only in Texas, but in the nation and in the world. So go to TexasTakeover100.com. If you want those skills and you want to learn from people who are operating at such a high level from their heart, from their soul, come register. TexasTakeover100.com. We want you there. If you want to come out just because you're interested in all the cool stuff that's going to be there, organization, swag, giveaways, you name it. You need to be with us. TexasTakeover100.com. Secure your space now. We want to thank Mikhail and his entire 100 Club group for making us a beneficiary of Texas Takeover. We are looking forward to seeing everybody there. So for John and I, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. To all of our first responders out there, you have prayer warriors across this nation praying for you to return home safe every night. Thank you for what you do for our communities everywhere. To our veterans, thank you for fighting the good fight that allows John and I to do a show like this every single week. And to our active duty personnel spread out across the globe, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please stay safe. We're praying for your safe return as well. And thank you for keeping our shores safe here at home. I would say, John, take it home, but he's not here. So we thank you so much for joining us tonight. Keep tuning in. Like and subscribe from wherever you're watching us tonight. We so appreciate you. And until next week, everybody, take care.
A Badge of Honor podcast is produced for the OBBN Network podcast and protected under copyright law. For content permissions, please submit your request to abadgeofhonor.com on the content page. For OBBN Network programming information, please call 214-714-0495 today.